for me, one of the biggest thing when it came to dating was when I went out on the first date, who's paying? Who was paying? Me? Like, did you ever have MySpace?
No.
And whoever picture you had first?
Yeah.
Well, that was like your favorite person.
Right? But a woman now, she's getting hit up by, even though she looks like that, a million other guys are hitting her up. Even the guys that know they have no chance.
Just trying it.
They're going to try it.
Because men are delusional.
Raise a glass for your best friend, best friend, best friend. You guys your best friend, best friend. Wind down with your best friend, best friend. You guys your best friend, best friend. Raise a glass for your best friend, best friend, best friend. You guys your best friend, best friend.
So,
Why we always laugh?
I don't know.
Welcome back
to
the Sometimes
I Can Stand.
Sometimes
I can't stand you.
I can't stand you. The emphasis.
Every time you say that, it sounds so personal. It sounds so personal.
That's why it's sometimes.
It just sounds so personal. I don't know if I feel that way though. I don't know.
You're the one that came up with the name.
I didn't.
I'm gonna fake the funk. Okay. Welcome back to the Sometimes.
It's a loving can't stand you. That's what it is.
It's sometimes. That's why it's sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
That's sometimes.
Yeah, not like I can't stand you, but like
sometimes.
like a loving one. Yeah.
I can't stand you.
Yeah, like one of those ones. It's said out of love, not
Of course.
Yeah.
Most times I love you, but sometimes I can't stand you.
I can't lick you with a piece of bulla.
What you say? Bulla?
Bulla, yeah, the bulla cake. Yeah.
You got treats?
The treats.
You got some treats?
I got some treats.
You know I love a good snack.
Yeah. That's it. My friend Orville. Go work at Jamaica and bring me back some bulla cake, original bulla cake.
I never had the original.
Yeah.
I just had the bootleg one from up here.
Original bulla cake. And
is this the original from Totally Delight?
No. This looks like some new stuff. I never even seen
that name brand
this name brand before.
But it's from Jamaica, so
yeah.
Authentic, not original.
Authentic. You can look at it and see that authenticity.
Yeah, because the bulla cake.
Authenticity.
Bulla cake up here, it does not look this color.
Yeah.
It looks
and it has a certain dimension to it, a certain roundness, like it was baked in like some kind of
special
oven, pan or oven that made it look exactly like this. Brought me some wine cake. What is it? Wine? Yeah. Wine slice.
That sound like rum cake.
Yeah, rum cake. Yeah, this is definitely rum cake. Let me see if no rum in this. No rum? No rum. Vanilla, wine, sugar, butter, eggs.
Oh, wine cake.
Wine cake.
Not rum cake. It's wine cake.
The wine? Yeah. Flour to wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna open it?
Yes. Should I open it?
I want to taste it. You're gonna tease me? What? What's the point? I'm bringing it on here. Say you brought treats. Say you don't.
We're on camera. I don't want to.
That's okay. We can turn into a mukbang too.
Ruin your smile with chocolate wine cake.
It's okay. You'll tell me if I have something on my face.
Yeah?
See if I can.
Chocolate wine. Now this is turned into a mukbang.
Okay.
How's it?
Not bad.
It tastes like wine cake.
Taste the wine in there, yes.
Yeah. Let me taste it.
When you make that, that's how you know he likes it.
Yeah. This
authentic.
Definitely come from Jamaica. Holy.
Most definitely.
Oh, this is good.
They put stone ginger wine in there?
What
kind of wine?
I don't know. Whatever kind of wine they put in there, wine me right up.
The wine is whiny?
Wine me right up.
The wine cake is whiny.
Every other. Thank you. But back to it. We have more treats in here to take, but I don't know if we're going to.
Come on, babe. You know I love a treat.
You want to taste this one too?
Oh, are you saving that?
No, I'm not trying to save them. I want to give Jerome a piece of this too. So Jerome. That's good.
He's making his debut.
Bring him into this. Come here, Jerome.
Making his debut for the
come hit this. And the reason why I said Jerome, come hit this, because one thing, Drum loves a bulla cake.
Really, Joe?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Long time.
Oh yeah.
He's a bull.
He said, "Oh yeah."
He's a bulla man. So he'll tell me if it's real authentic. Yeah?
Is it
No?
good?
It's tough. It's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, "Yeah."
Okay.
Yeah, no. This looks like some official
Authentic.
authentic. It's nice. I want to song from Broke the Cake. Oh, really? And she's breaking the cake like this, like she's actually doing a mukbang, like slowly, like.
I don't want to.
Oh,
It's
man.
cheese and milk.
Right?
Oh, really? Yeah.
She
You know what?
was
What do you taste in this automatically?
The nutmeg.
Not like
Yeah.
I said the vanilla
The
extract
essence.
and the vanilla extract, like real vanilla.
Essence.
Yes, vanilla.
Yeah.
The essence.
I can taste the vanilla. Oh, leave. Got all the stuff in this one. Shortening, sort bean, condensed what? Condensed seed? Oh, condensed. I can't read. Cotton seed.
Yes.
Cotton seed oil. Margarine. You know, it's a real Jamaican margarine.
I feel like I think I like the wine cake better.
Like wine cake? I can't like the wine cakes and stuff.
Yeah.
The wine cake is different.
Jordan never tasted the wine cake, so he
Yeah.
can't compare.
The aftertaste is great.
Yeah, so yeah, you know what the thing is? As soon as I put it in my mouth,
Yeah.
I went right back to Jamaica. Like I
Imported you back to Jamaica.
import like whoa,
Pure essence in that one.
yeah. Everything that was in that cake,
You tasted it?
everything. Except that the thiamine and all that other kind of nonsense.
That's all right. That's how it makes it over here to fire. They haven't put a little preservative in there.
Just keep it
Well packaged.
keep it well packaged up.
It's like it reaches fire.
That's firing. Yes, guys. Okay. We've done our but it tastes like something. You know, I actually had some watermelon. I was gonna leave in the front here, but was it? It's like I forgot the watermelon inside the kitchen, but
All
yeah,
right. Well, nobody has
okay.
to know that. Nobody. Was it from Jamaica,
it was from somewhere.
Puerto Rico, or something, Costa Rica? Or
Puerto
something?
Rico. It's a definite transplant. It wasn't made here in our great country of Canada.
Your country, this.
Yeah.
Not my country.
This is your country. Imagine this, someone that's born here saying to me that's my country.
I'm an honorary Guyanese. I have to say that first. Honorary Guyanese / Jamaican. By default.
And by default. It's true. As long as you get a little Jamaican in you, you know what I'm saying? You can
Oh
work.
my God. Wow. We're not after dark yet, babe. We're not after dark.
Okay, guys. So
Back to the
back to
conversation at hand. Okay, guys.
at hand.
Welcome back to
What if I
Sometimes I Can't Stand You podcast.
derailing
Not
as
mukbang.
always. Slash mukbang. Mukbang. There's some great food. But yeah. So
This is all you today, babe. This is all you today.
No, it's not. No, it's all
It's
not
all
all.
you?
No, because we're talking about Gen Z. Is it Gen Z or Gen X?
Gen Z.
Gen Z dating.
You know, you're bringing Gen X. I think there's a Gen X, but
Gen X?
I don't know. I
Gen
looked
Z?
up what I researched. Okay, for today.
No, Gen X. It's Gen X. Gen
What's
X.
the difference between Gen Z and Gen X then?
I think Gen Z. Look at it. If we look at Gen Z,
And you know, we're millennials. I can't even talk.
Whoop.
Millennials as well, babe.
yeah.
We are millennials.
No, we are millennials.
Yeah.
Right? We're millennials. And then Gen X is everything after that, 1997 to 2012.
How you know that's so good at the top of your head? What the hell?
Are we supposed to be doing research here? Are we supposed to be doing research here?
How you know that off the top of your head like
Are we
that?
supposed to be doing research here?
Okay.
What is this? What podcast is this?
Memorize that one quick.
Unprepared?
Jeez.
Okay. Oh my God. This is blasphemy after all.
Told you this was all you, sir.
Yeah, but I don't like. You'd have to say. So what is Gen Z? So it'll be after
I
that.
looked up Gen Z. I didn't look up Gen X.
So no, but Gen X would be everything after that. So it would have to be between. So it would be between Millennials and Gen X. Would you agree? Would you agree, Jerome?
What's that?
The
Dating.
conversation. Yeah.
We didn't say what we were talking about. What we're talking about is dating.
Yeah.
Dating. And dating.
No, because millennials and Gen X are similar ages.
Yes. Exactly. So those.
What are the teens? What are like kids that are born in, but that still would be like 2002 to, that's still that would be
that's Gen X.
Gen X.
That's Gen X.
Okay, Gen X. So that's what we're talking about. Millennial dating versus Gen X dating.
Versus Gen X dating. Yeah,
okay.
That's what we're talking about.
And what I find, because we have kids, right? I have a son that is 22 years old. Yeah. Gen X, exactly. And I have nieces, and that were born as well that are Gen X. And when she tells me her horror stories about dating, I'm like, thank God, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, for me, one of the biggest thing when it came to dating was when I went out on the first date, who's paying? Who's paying? Me? Like, listen, if I went on a date with a guy, and that literally happened to me one time, and I tested him. Okay, babe? I tested him.
Yeah.
Took me out. And he's lucky I wasn't even there with him, because you weren't even that cute, sir. Okay? Pick him up. Whoa. I remember I think I even had to go pick him up.
Wow.
Okay? Went out to eat. And I said, just testing him. I'm like, oh, okay, do you want to split the bill? And he was all surprised, like thinking, oh yeah, this girl's like, okay, yeah, you want to split the bill with me? Sure, if you want. Lord, who told him to say sure? Never hear from me again.
Hold on one second.
Never again.
Hold on one second. When you know what caught me just now? When you said you were testing him.
Yeah.
I think that the test was actually failed once you went to go pick him up.
Well, that was strike. That was strike.
I think about it.
The picking up. Listen, I'm a very humble person. I'm not I'm a down to earth girl. You know what I'm saying? All right, you have to go pick you up. Okay, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll go pick you up. Sure, pick you up. But that was strike one. Okay. Yeah. The having to pay was strike 2 and 3 all in one. Yeah. Like that was you're out.
See, that's and
I feel like that's one of the biggest things when I hear my nieces talk about when they go out. She's like, auntie, because we tell her, we're like, when we went out, we're not paying for the first date. No, we're not. And it wasn't even that it was just normal. You know what I'm saying? It's just a certain expectation that we had, and the guys that we dated back then, it was normal. It is not looking like, oh, you're a gold digger or you're just taking me out to get food. No, it wasn't look like that. It was just normal for them to pay because they were masculine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna pay for you. Don't pay. That's how I seen it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was normal. Tell me if I'm wrong. From a man's perspective.
No, from a man. I'm from the same area you're from.
So I said from a man's perspective.
I never understood, like, especially somebody, once you start saying, like, if I invite you out someplace, like, I expect to pay if I invite you out someplace. That's the main thing. No, it's true. If I invite you out someplace, if I say, you know, let's go on a date, because obviously
you sound like Uncle Gen X saying that.
No. It's not about.
It doesn't matter who invited who.
No, yes, it does.
I know that's now. I'm talking about our generation when we were talking, babe. That it doesn't matter if I call the guy. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Okay, you want to go to eat? Sure, and the guy's paying. I'm not paying.
But you shouldn't. I don't think you should ever ask a guy you want to go out to eat. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think that should be something that a man should say, you know what? Should bring it up and say, okay, let's go out to eat. Because usually as men, we take the initiative to say, you know what? We're going here. Because maybe that's where I fall. I don't know. Maybe you could say short or whatever it is, but I don't feel it's a woman initiative to say, like, you know what? Let's go out to eat. Right? Because where does that leave you as a man? Like, automatically, I already start feeling like demasculated, like right away. Like,
so you want to be in control? You're taking the lead.
It's not about
taking the lead. It's the lead.
It's not control. Control is just a harsh word for somebody to say. It's a very hard word. Taking the lead and taking initiative. Let you know that you're a man that wants to take her out someplace nice, right? Maybe someplace that she's never been before.
Well, you know that's all gone now, right? You know these little boys aren't doing that, right?
Well, tell me about it.
Well, that's what I hear. When I tell my niece about when me and it's my best friend, but you know, my best friend's sister, her daughter tells us about what's going on. Me and Tika are like, what the hell? She's like, auntie, guys these days are not doing that. They're not doing that. They're not. And when we used to go on dates, I never did this with you, but we used to take each other on dates.
What do you mean take each other? Explain.
Godfather.
Yeah.
First time he took me on the date,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm bringing Tika, and she came with us on the dates, and he paid for everything. When her kid's dad,
Yeah.
the second one,
Yeah.
when we went out with him,
Yeah.
I came.
Yeah.
She's like, Marika's coming,
Yeah.
and he paid for everything. Like, that's just what we did.
Yeah. Well, but I think it's just
It wasn't a big deal. Like, it was, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a.
I think you know what it is. I think it's like I believe it's the standard of what men are like nowadays, right? I feel like there's not a lot of men, because there's a lot of searches. If you even look on the internet right now, there's a lot of searches. People want to know how to talk to women. They don't understand how to talk to girls. They don't understand how to be as men. So I think that plays a huge role, and they're listening to everything else like
Social media. Social media killed chivalry. Social media killed chivalry. And I could, you know what, in some perspectives I can understand, because I feel like girls these days do take advantage and they ruin it for the good ones. You know what I'm saying? They'll take advantage of guys, and guys feel like, okay, I'm paying for you to eat. What am I getting out of it? You know what I'm saying? But it shouldn't even be about, like, it shouldn't even, like, I don't know. I just couldn't do it. Thank God I'm not dating in these times, because I couldn't do it.
You know, I think, but realistically, I think you're right. With the chivalry part, I think that was in the millennial.
Yeah, we got little trickle of it from our parents, the baby boomers.
Yeah,
and before that generation.
That was kind of like the entry manhood kind of thing, right? This is that's what you do based on people that you learn from, just like you said, your parents and people before them, right? This is what men do, right? Went out, took you out for someplace nice to eat, maybe someplace you've never been before, and I think that creates that kind of romance. Well, when we differ here, when we're talking about Gen X, right? Mm-hmm. That kind of throws like a wrench in the whole program, because it's like when you're going out, because you're going out and there's all these like expectations and like, oh my God, am I supposed to do this, and am I supposed to do that, and am I supposed to act this way because social media?
Where did all that even come from? Girls, and even girls have these stupid expectations now of social media. Oh, you can't take me here and you can't take me there. And what Cheesecake Factory is not good enough. You have to bring me to these bougie restaurants. Listen, it doesn't matter where you're bringing me.
Exactly, and
I think so. I think it's hard for both the men and the women, and because of these stupid expectations that social media placed and affecting the dating.
You know what the thing is?
It's because where did that even come from?
You know what the thing is? I think that social media is breeding like one. It's like one brain of people, right? Because if you think about it, right? When you think about like when people are dating nowadays and they're dating on site, you're dating on site and you're creating this profile and you're creating this whole image and saying that this is what you are, even though that's not what you are, and whatever it is, right?
Oh, yeah, online dating. Like, that's a whole nother thing. People don't even really pick up each other no more.
Exactly. There's no pick up. There's no eye to eye. There's no, not only in a club.
Anywhere. Trust me. Anywhere.
Like, because I feel like there's so much fear that comes with that, right? Because what social media does, it builds up an invisible wall, and people hide behind this invisible wall.
Because it's true. Like back in our day, it was weird to say, "Yeah, I met my significant other online." They're like, "Oh my God, is he a serial killer? Is he a stalker? You met them online, you don't even know them." But nowadays, that's completely normal.
Yeah, that's
completely normal. Because my sister, that's how she met her husband online, and we were like, the first thing I said to him is, you better not be a serial killer, because I'll come find you. Like, it was just so taboo back then, you know what I'm saying, to meet somebody online, because you don't know them. But now, again, as I said, it's normal. If you don't, every person you meet, like, a lot of times, I watch these things online, and when people say where they meet, 90% of the chance I want to say, 90% of the time I want to say is they met each other online. If it's not Tinder to me, I used to think about people just hooking up to have sex, but now it's normal. People are meeting their husbands and wives on Tinder.
Right.
It's crazy. I can't.
So how do you think that that whole thing plays out, right? Because think about this, right? And when I think about Tinder, and it's not far-fetched from from Instagram and everything else, right? Because you put your profile up, and obviously that one person could be talking to 50 other people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think realistically as men, right? Watching that, and I know it's not only that's one woman that you're looking at. You're like, how many women you got to look at to do that? How many women you're looking at?
Is Tinder the one where you swipe left and right?
Yeah, I think.
What was it? When that's Tinder?
Yeah.
Okay.
You swipe left and right.
I don't even
Yeah. Well, so you got to think about this, right? What was I saying? So.
Oh, that was a Tinder swindler.
Tinder swindler. That's how you get swindled. That's how you get swindled. What else? See? Yeah. Okay, I guess, but that's another topic. But like I said, now you have women that have all these men ogling over him. So now you have options. And realistically, I feel as if that a woman would have more options than a man has options, because there's more men that's perverted that's willing to take anything.
Oh my God, babe.
No, that's true.
Like that.
No, it's true.
Well, better you say it than
no, it's true.
me.
There's more men that's willing to take
Men
anything.
are men. You know what? Wait, just say men are dogs.
It's not,
men want to talk to multiple women at the same time. Just say that.
No, it's not about dog. It's not about
just
dog.
say that.
It's not about dog.
Women should be more selective
No.
when it comes to them.
It comes to exactly.
Well, because I guess in a way it's still up to the men to initiate. I think is that still normal thing to do? It's up to the men to initiate talking to, or is that just natural? Naturally, a man.
Really, I think it's based off. Sometimes, more time, it's based off what you look like.
I feel like women still. I feel like that's one part of traditional courting, if you want to say, where the men still predominantly are the ones to. Women are still waiting for men to make the first move.
Yeah, I think a lot of times they do that, but I think depending on what your profile will look like and what your profile is saying, I think that. And that's gonna draw the attention, because you draw the attention from what you really want, right? So if you're on there on Tinder,
half naked, yes, what you're selling,
your shirt's off. You're gonna get what you get up there, right? And most likely you're gonna get more people, because it's attractive to see those kind of things, right? Whether it's a woman or a man, either way. But more often so, you're gonna have more women getting hit up. And women are gonna look at that. They're gonna see, even if that's not their cup of tea, they're gonna pass and look at it and think, but they'll swipe left, because maybe that's not how they want to approach the situation, right? But a woman now, she's getting hit up by, even if she looks like that, a million other guys are hitting her up. Even the guys that know they have no chance,
just trying a thing.
They're gonna try a thing.
Because men are delusional.
It's not about delusion. You're talking about. Delusional.
Listen, what you're describing, even though he has no chance, what is that? Not delusional?
No, wait, it's not.
He's trying a thing, hopefully throwing out the bait. Please let me catch it. Catch a thing.
But it's better to try a thing than
not try it all.
Yeah,
because that means.
So it's.
And I think
it's always percentage.
But I think
it's based off of percentages.
What does that mean about your confidence if you're not trying?
Yeah.
And the thing is about that is social media and everything else makes it easier for men to do that. Because realistically, if they're on the road and see you on the road, they wouldn't do that.
So it's easier for them
easier for them to do that.
Oh well, right? I can say hi. They don't talk to me. That's fine.
On to the next one, right? But it's different. But women, I think women have a complete different. I would not luck of approach when that kind of situation happens. They have, like Jerome said, they're more sought after, right? And especially if you're a woman that looks good, you're more sought after. So then more men are gonna hit you up. Then you have the options to say no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. And the majority of there's more women out there like that than there are men that actually out there that women are gonna look at and swipe realistically. You know what I'm saying? It's not many men that women will be like, oh yeah, I want him. You have to work hard. Even if him's in, you have to work. She have to look at you and be like, oh.
So the fact that you would say there's more women than there is men. No?
Facts.
right?
Facts.
And I feel like another thing that is becoming more common when dating is this concept of open relationships, right? And people having it being normal of having it's more normal of having open relationships, being creating your own situationships, as they would call it. Okay, I'm in a relationship with this person, but we opened up our relationship, and I'm also like what is it called? Polygamy. I feel that's another thing that's normal or becoming more common. It's not as taboo as it was before.
I think it is because I think the thing about that is that people are less inclined to get into relationships, and the more inclined, because there's so much rejection and ghosting now. Then you have to go to multiple people and then try things out, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't want to drop in. That's like, no, for sure.
Sure, yeah.
Of course, because it's a just like you said, it's a battle out there for women, just like it is men out there, right? Some women might be been through how many different relationships, but now they're with this one guy, right? And she might have tried so many times and failed, but now she's with one guy who's willing to accept what she is. But in order for you to accept what you are, you have to accept what I am.
Another thing, when you said that made me trigger, or a lot of women are dating women, and I feel like that's because they're sick of men. Do you feel like that?
You're sick of men?
Not sick of men, but you're like, you know what, this men thing is not working. Let me. I feel like a lot of women that would have it. I feel like in general, everything is more accepted.
It is more accepted because you know what? Socially, it's more accepted. It's seen everywhere now. So it's just like, I think most women who actually are with women, they've always had a thought of being. I don't think that's something that just jumped up like, oh yeah, well, no. I think that's something that's always been in their mind. Most of these women are probably bisexual.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a lot of women that's bisexual.
No,
by nature,
we're changing off topic and when you say that.
But we're talking about relationships and
you know, when you say a lot of women, like you hear women say, I would let a girl eat me out, but I'm not doing nothing else. She just has to eat me out. Or I like to have sex with women, but I never want to be in a relationship with women. Yeah. Like there's all these different variables. You know what I'm saying?
But because I think that's what I think. Women are naturally inclined by other women. That's what I feel. Even in
naturally attracted.
Yes, they're naturally attracted to other women. They're naturally attracted to other women. So I understand where that comes from, because even if you look on social media and you think about all these guys talking about dating women and
two girls at one time and
it's men we don't I don't know if they know, a lot of men know. Women don't really care about what you got going on that much unless it's like
affects them.
It really affects them, or other women like it.
What do you mean?
Like,
what do you mean women don't care about? Like,
women don't really care about what you have going on. Like, you could be the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You could have a
that's what you mean.
Yeah, like good personality, have a good little job. They don't care about it. Right? Because it doesn't show excitement. It doesn't show flash. It doesn't show like charm, personality. You know what I'm saying? Like the idea of what that's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Because the idea of
the normal guy, like a normal guy with a 9 to 5,
like a normal guy with a 9 to 5,
normal,
like a normal guy with a 9 to 5. Women's that
boring.
Yeah, boring.
Like when you hear this thing, would you take a bus driver?
Yeah.
You hear a lot of these, like, even B-list celebrities, right? That, okay, they have a little notoriety, but they're not like, okay, like Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. Like, a lot of these ex-wives, you ask them, okay, they got a little taste of what the real fame, you know what I'm saying, with Eddie Murphy. She can't go back to dating a regular.
No.
She's like, yeah, no. Like,
she hasn't taste that lifestyle.
That's what she's striving for.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it sounds crazy, but think about how many years they've been in that situation for. And now you've built up a life and built up a status and an image of that only, and that's what you're known for.
And you know, I was listening, she was talking about it, they were asking her, and the way that she put it to sound like she's not a gold digger, she's like, I want a man that could teach me things. I want a man, you know, that I can learn from, that's going to teach me. What does that, that's like, I want a man in a certain position, a mogul, like, you know what I'm saying, that can teach me the ropes. I already know how to be a bus driver. I don't want to know that. Like,
she wants a lead. She wants a leader. She wants a guy that owns the bus.
That would work for her. Bus driver.
He wants a guy that owns the the guy that owns TTC. They want that guy. She wants Ted Rogers. She want a guy that works at a phone company. She wants Ted Rogers.
Exactly.
Is he dead? Rest in peace, he dead?
Yes, I think he is.
I think he's dead, right? Rest in peace, Ted Rogers.
I think he is. But yeah. I was watching this documentary, and there was this guy. He's I don't think he was a rapper. My son had me watching. He was a rapper, and he's married, and he speaks very highly about his wife, has 2 kids. His wife, he went to jail, talked about his wife was the only one that was there for him. He didn't even want to talk to nobody else on the phone because he's like, I'm in jail. I don't want to talk to no next man on the phone. They're asking him, like, you know, did your friends come and see you? He's like, I don't care. I don't want my friends to come and see me. He's the only person I want to come see me is my woman. I don't want to be seeing no man. I want to see my woman, right? So anyways, I saw that interview. Then he has girlfriends. Okay, he's Muslim, by the way. So he's talking about Rollo. Oh, you know. Okay, you know. Yeah. He has these 2 girlfriends that were there for his birthday. Was it their birthday or his birthday? I don't remember what birthday, whoever's birthday it was. I think it was his birthday. The twins were there with him. He's showing them presents, and then I think it was the twins' birthday, babe. Did you see it? The documentary. And they're at a studio, some place of business. I remember, and then his wife comes, and the twins are sitting across the table. His wife's and twins are his girlfriends. Right. Okay, then his wife is there, and I was like, I don't know if I can do that. That's a lot. Like, that is a lot. I can be open to us that, and we're getting on another topic, but that's a lot. I had to bring that up when we were talking about open relationships, but that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
But I think that like I said, with Muslim marriages or Muslim, like I said, there's what?
Your men are allowed to have multiple women. Yes, we know this. Yes,
but that's not only the case. Like if that's something that he's open with, and that's something that she's open with.
Really open with it, because the wife and the 2 women were there. Like, it was. My God, it was a lot. Listen, I'm gonna have to look better than your girlfriends. Like that.
So she didn't look better. Whoa.
I am gonna have to look better. Like, I'm gonna have to be on par or better. Because
so you said they didn't look as good. Look as good as the wife. That's what you said.
The girlfriends look good,
but the wife didn't.
They were twins.
But the wife didn't look good.
The wife didn't look bad, but she looked like a wife. Like, she didn't look like. Oh my God! Like, I'm gonna get canceled. She need to
fix up.
She did not look bad.
She need to fix up.
She did not look bad. I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She didn't look bad. She did not look bad. She needs
to stay on point. She
was on point. Like, she was on point as much as she could have been on point. You understand?
You hear the slander and the blasphemy right now. The beating.
I'm talking for myself. I'm just saying, like, if you have these twin girls that are your and I'm your wife. Listen, no, sir. No.
So
their energy, and they can't, like, when I walk in, I have to exude way more status than they exude. And that's not what it was giving. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, he was sitting beside his wife. It wasn't nothing to do with him. I'm just talking about naturally. To me, these 2 girls that were the twins took up more energy in the room than the wife did.
Yeah.
And more presence.
Exactly. And that it would have to be the opposite way around. Like,
well, that's definitely sounds like something that she would have to work on. Like,
I don't think she
or maybe
she enjoyed his wife,
or maybe she just like that. Maybe she just knows her space.
Yes, but I'm just saying naturally, for me to be, I'm just talking about from myself personally, to be secure listen, when I walk in, my energy would have to be way more than
way higher than that.
I have to step in. Yes, I'm the wife. Yes, like. And obviously that even doesn't even always come with looks, but I'm just saying my energy has to be
on par.
Yeah.
Or above par.
Wife, like I have to above par.
Yes,
above
anyways, par. Keisha Kior.
Exactly. See, you understand what I'm saying. You understand where I'm going with that one. You get it.
But maybe she's more laid back, you know? She could be more laid back.
You can still be laid back. Listen, I feel like I'm a person, I'm laid back, but I feel like when I walk in the room, my energy, my presence is felt. I just feel that way naturally.
Yeah, but I think that's two different kind of people though. I think she like,
but I'm
she's probably doesn't feel that being out there as much means anything to
I don't want to be up there. I don't want to. I'm talking about
what she's secure with. I understand what you're saying, Flame. I understand, but sometimes when you're secure in your own space, like her energy could be different. She could be secure in her own space, and that's just where she likes to be.
Yeah, I get it because sometimes I'm like that too. But my energy still speaks for itself. I'm very secure in my own space, and I'm gonna hold my corner every time. I know. You know what I'm saying? When I say hold my corner, I want to say I know my place because. That doesn't, but I know how to hold I hold my corner, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like no matter, even if I'm holding my corner, my energy is still.
So do you think that dating in like the social media space is like a caveat to what's going on with, like, just like you said, like the polygamy and everything else? You think
because again, like social media's opened up so much and made people that would not even have known about those things because social media and even the internet in general, you know what I'm saying?
Information.
Yeah, exactly. Information age where things that you would never heard of or known about before, it's right there at your fingertips, literally. You know what I'm saying?
So you think that dating is better? Finish what you're saying.
Sorry.
Finish what you're saying.
And people have like Instagram pages made for specifically these things. You know what I'm saying?
Like fintech?
No, like people
like hidden pages or actually pages
like,
made for
what? Like two women dating, two men, like open people. Yeah, like it's a normal thing.
Like the pages are made for
people that are in these relationships have pages together. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like it's just, or even YouTube channels. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing.
Yeah, but I think that's more monetizing. That sounds like monetizing than anything else.
Monetizing the relationship, but still, again, it's open for everybody to see. You know what I'm saying, and find out about it.
Yeah, of course. But like I said, it's monetizing. It's just like social media and everything else, right? It's not like you got to pick up the sense. You got to pick out the sense out of the nonsense. Yeah. Right. And most of the time, it's a lot of nonsense, and most of the time, it's a lot of stuff put there for you to see, to come to your own conclusions by.
Of course. But I feel like a lot of these kids are gullible and they don't even sorry, now we're talking about but this in social media in general. If you look about our daughter, babe, like she is on Pinterest and watching these YouTube videos of people doing things like doing over their rooms, and like she just thinks that she can go out. Can you go and buy stuff to do my room over? I'm like, these things cost money, right? Like, you can't just press, like, it's like the sense of reality is, I have to bring her down to reality sometimes. I have to tell the other day, like, those things cost money. Like, it's not like you just go, like these YouTubers make money on YouTube, so obviously you can just go out and buy all these stuff and it seems like so nice. But in reality,
and sometimes they're not even buying it. Sometimes it's more promo
and packages of all these things. But you think that you can just go to a store and buy whatever you want to, and little girl, no, because it doesn't work like that. I tell her that's not reality. You have to because that's where they live.
Yeah, but that's what you have to understand. Social media right now at this state, it's in a false reality. It's like we went from 3D to 5D.
Trust me.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, would you agree with Rome? Like social media is more where we're at right now in life. Dating and social media is fighting. We're looking at something completely different. So that's something that our eyes can't really like understand the scope of. Do you understand what I'm saying? 3D, you could understand that, the world's round. We have the water, right? We have land mass. We can understand that because we can see some of that stuff from the ground, from where we are. But now we're talking about 5D, where it's like, okay, the light comes from this section, and then the mass of this equals.
Were you ever on Facebook?
What's that?
Were you ever on Facebook?
No. I didn't.
Or not even Facebook, MySpace. Did you ever have MySpace?
No.
You never had a MySpace?
No.
I've been thinking about MySpace because I feel like it just started from there. I remember MySpace. Okay. Did you have MySpace, Joe?
No. I never.
MySpace, I remember it was UK. So you would have a profile, whatever, and then you would have like the people that you were friends with on MySpace, and then whoever you had, it was like at the front of the screen and of your profile, and whoever picture you had first, that was like the most best, like that was your favorite person.
Okay, break that down.
Okay, so just say you had a profile.
Yeah.
Right? And then it would have like pictures, like you have your friends, like your different I can't explain it. The profile and your picture would be here, and then who you're friends with, they would show their pictures on your page, and they would be like blocks of pictures. You understand?
So anybody could see it, or just you?
Everybody could see it when you went to people's profile.
Right.
And whoever picture you had first,
well,
that was like your favorite person. If you were just saying you're talking to somebody and your picture was up first, you're like, okay then, like, you know what I'm saying?
Whoa. That's crazy.
I feel like it started, you know what I'm saying?
That's
That was
what kind of nonsense that was started up?
Yep.
Holy, imagine this. Imagine you have your girl, and there's somebody else that you're on MySpace with the next girl.
Exactly.
And it's just her picture right as soon as you go to her page right in the front.
She's the first person. Yep. Trust me. You know what people were getting because of that? Trust me.
I think Snapchat has a similar feature.
Really?
Because whoever it is that you talk to the most on Snapchat,
it shows.
It says it has a smiley face on it.
Oh, mini flip up on Snapchat. You have Snapchat?
Of course I have Snapchat.
Okay, man. I don't have Snapchat.
What if I have Snapchat?
Who has a smiley face on yours?
Who
do you talk to the most on Snapchat? I'm too nosy.
Don't worry about that.
Okay, good to know.
Don't worry about that.
Good to know.
Don't worry about it. As Casino as the most.
Casino?
Yeah.
You're lucky.
As the most. That is the smiley face on mine.
Okay, big up Casino.
Could be saying out the name out loud.
It's not a government name. Doesn't matter. Who cares?
Young, you know?
Yeah.
What, bro? Yeah. Anyways, what were we saying now? What were we talking about? We're still talking about we're talking about social media. Jenna, we're rolling in.
Because no, we're not. It expands to such a broad, especially social media, and how it affects, like, again, okay, if you want to run it back to millennial dating versus now, yeah, kids, like, I know I raised my son. He cut a little bit of how it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he takes a girl out, he's paying. You know what I'm saying? He has a girlfriend now. If they go to dinner, you know what I'm saying? He's, you know what I'm saying, paying. Which, that's how it should be. Yeah. I'm proud of him. Like, okay, I did something right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I did something right, because I feel sorry for the girls these days. I could not do it. Or they'll say, okay, we'll ask, okay, if you take your friend, if you go out to eat, like, I asked my son, if you take a girl out and her friends come, are you going to pay for the friends too? And he's like, no, I'm not paying for the friends too. I'll pay for the girl, but I'm not paying for the friends. I'm like, my God.
They're friends, plural?
Friend. Just say they have a friend.
Yeah. I understand a friend, but not friends.
Okay.
They bring out like four, bring out four other people that
you're not paying for No, you're not paying for it. You're not paying for that. And the thing is, I never...
But the friend should not expect that, though. I don't think a friend should expect that, realistically. I don't think she should expect that. Do you think the friend should expect that? No, it's okay for you to pay. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with paying, because me as
even one time, but not every time.
I would pay, but
not all the time.
I'll give you an example. When I was in Charlotte, I was with my girl in Charlotte,
right?
And then we went to a club. It was a small bar, right? And it was her friend's birthday, and then she brought the next friend. But when we went inside the bar / club, here would have been like $20 per person, but there was like I just paid $20 and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, it was like $5 a person.
Oh,
Like,
you're perfect.
What $20-$30 per person?
Yeah. But honestly, the realistically, and this might be just giving out a little bit too much game. If you do pay for the friend, it does go a long way because it shines a better light on you. Exactly. Realistically, because now like, now she's looking at you like she's like, oh, you know,
exactly. Kids they don't know that game. That's a real game.
Even if you're all ugly, you know what I'm saying? If you're all ugly dude, and you take out and they take out her friends, and she's like, she might say, hey, ugly, he's a nice guy.
Exactly.
You know, and then she might be looking at you at a different light. She's like,
exactly.
Maybe, you know.
Exactly. But kids these days don't look at it like that. They're like, oh, I'm not taking this girl out to eat. I'm not taking her and her friends out to eat. I'm not paying for you. Like, what am I getting out of it? Are we going to go home back after? They're not looking at the long term. And that's the thing. Everything is just what I can get right now out of, you know what I'm saying? They're not looking at the long term of like, I feel like people don't date anymore. I don't, it's just a whole different world out there. It's a whole different world. Like,
yeah, you're right. Like people, I don't feel. I think it's hard for people to date nowadays.
Like it's like a cesspool out there, like a cesspool of garbage. There's nothing out there.
Yeah.
Like I remember we were talking at work and they were talking about dating, whatever. And then my manager, I guess she's single, and she's like, "Don't leave your husband." She's like, "There's nothing out there." Like it's, and I'm like, "Yeah, I hear." Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would not, and I feel especially for like, just say us in our 40s.
Yeah, millennials.
Well, yeah, again, millennials, like if, because a lot of us, get married. A lot of the millennials that are out there now dating have already probably been married already. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a cesspool of garbage and all these new rules and regulations that are even with dating at our age. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Gen Z's rules have trickled into, you know what I'm saying, how we are now if we go out on date again. Yeah. And it's the same thing. Men our age have that mentality where they're not paying for you, and like, you know what I'm saying, maybe a second I'll pay for the first date, but then not like, sir, just pay.
I think it's the influence of social media to make it feel like, because it's like the main thing in social media is like, you know what, you gotta have, in order for you to date me, you gotta have this, you gotta have that, you gotta have this. So there's kind of like a standard that's being set by a lot of these the influencers and the women that other women are looking at.
Yeah.
Right. So when they're looking at these women, they start to think what delusional.
Yeah.
and starts thinking, yeah, maybe I deserve that too. Maybe I should get this. Maybe I should get this.
The standards are unrealistic.
Yeah, it's unrealistic. But remember, it is trickling down to, like, I feel like two millennials too, because I feel as if like a lot of women that's out there. Okay, you know what? Okay, they want to leave who they're with because they feel as if like they something else might be
better
out there. Well, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel just like you said. I think that's a Gen Z mentality. Is it really a Gen Z mentality now, or just like it's the new way of how everybody thinks because of the influence of social media? Exactly. But the Gen Z way is the influence of the Gen Z and even a little bit of the millennial. Now the Gen X. It has that social media influence where everything has to be a certain way or look a certain way in order for you to be attached to it. So I think about like even some of the guys that I know, like, and they're looking at, they have all these girls, and guys they come to me and then ask me for advice all the time. They're like, oh, I have this girl that's on he wants me to follow, like, she won't take my number, but she'll give me her Instagram or give me her Instagram and give me her social media.
I hear that.
And the thing about that is that leads to so much destruction.
Yeah.
Because think about this. I give you my Instagram, right? And you have 100 other guys, or maybe 1,000 other guys, depending on what you look like, right? that's on your page. And here come look at me now. Look at me now. Then
trying to get through the crowd, trying to get through the crowd.
And trying to get through the crowd, trying to swim through the crowd. And you really think about it, like, and they have all these men message them, and they know they have all these men message them because most of the girls, they know exactly what they look like, right? So imagine that now, giving you that. So now you're in, unless your thing is turned up in a way where she probably pops up and like, oh,
this shine out like a light.
Oh, this guy, you sound like, oh, this guy he looks like he's worth more than me. And like he got some kind of motion going on. Hold on 1 second there. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only way it's gonna happen. You can't be a normal person, like a normal guy, and be like,
do you think that girls say like give you your Instagram when they don't want to talk to you? Is that a less informal way? Like if she really likes you, she's gonna give you her phone number. But if she's not feeling you that much, here's my Instagram.
No, I feel as if that.
Jerome, do you think that?
No.
So it's normal now just to give Instagram?
I think that's a normal thing.
It's
really
a normal thing, but at the same time, women here, at least here, women feel uncomfortable giving out their numbers sometimes because a lot of things, there might be some trauma and like things happen to them.
Like what?
Well, just like experiences with guys that just them feeling uncomfortable, right? So now they default to Instagram because they get
it's less informed. Yeah.
So they just make that barrier.
Put up that wall.
But what that does is that you have to audition again.
Yes, exactly. Wow. Exactly. It's a whole different audition.
And now you're not even in person. So now in person, I'm talking to you, and then I'm like pretty much showing you who I am or whatever, giving you my energy in person, smile and everything. But now once you put me on Instagram, I don't have that
anymore. That energy is not there.
Text. So now you're not really
engaging.
It's not it.
Exactly. That's the see. So he says my point exactly.
That's
right.
Crazy.
And the majority thing comes down to like just like he said, auditioning. Like you're auditioning twice, right? So to give somebody else you look at the Instagram and you're not lit, you're not like on nothing. They're like this guy, and they're gonna look at somebody else who's lit or go look at other girls. Cause that's the main thing. If you can get these people attention, I'll talk to my guy big up Nilly and do him thing now, wife up on out. Yeah. But I remember talking to my guy about a lot of these things, and I always just tell him that like that whole nonsense, when people start looking at you through the lens of social media, even if their life is not even as good as yours, right? Just the imagination and the world that Instagram creates around people makes it seem like things bigger than they are. It amplifies everything. You know what I'm saying? Because everything, like, you can put makeup on, like guys put filters on. You know, it's like you're a filter. You're a filter. Girl has filters on. Like girls are shrinking up their hips to like editing their hips and all kinds of madness is going on. So you're like, automatically you're looking at something like, oh, and even though it doesn't look like that, right? Imagine you could meet a girl like, imagine you meet a girl here in the winter, right? And I could talk to Nelly. And a girl has on a jacket. Say, yeah, give me your social media. Here's my social media that you give you. And she has a big old jacket. You probably don't know what the body looks like. You go on social media now, all body outside and it turn up like this, and it's a whoa.
Don't kill me.
She could probably live in a soapbox. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or she's sitting down on the couch eating cheese chicks. You know what I'm saying? And bulla. You know what I'm saying? With her belly, with her finger in her belly button, like editing her page, and poor look at you in the background. See the message. This. And
Jerome, have you ever met a girl like been catfished? That's the next. You ever met a girl on Instagram and she looked one way, and then you met her in person, she looked the next way? Yeah. Oh my God!
Tell us about the experience, bro.
Things.
One person I was talking to, and she like, I saw her once, and then I got her Instagram. I got her number first, and then I got her Instagram. And then I looked at her. I looked at Instagram. She looked sick, and I was looking at the date too. You gotta look at the date.
It says now? It's what she looks like now, or
no,
2022?
4 years ago. Hold on.
She didn't expire yet. She's still good.
The milk's still right. The milk's
So
but yeah, she wasn't doing the Instagram. That's what I was like. Wow, how's it? It's filters.
Yeah.
I was like, how is that such a big difference? Because it takes like a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, because that's what. Because even when I was like, oh, can you send me a picture of you? And she's like, no. Because she probably doesn't like. Because some women don't like taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Do people?
All through Instagram.
I think before you go, hold that thought. Don't leave that thought. You think about how many opportunities that women actually miss out on, not because of social media, right? Say you have this great guy, right? She doesn't know him. Like, she's looking at Instagram, or his Instagram might be boring. He might have like 120 something followers, right?
What do you say?
Yeah, the noise.
Yeah, bike next month is nice. Yeah, but anyways, like I was saying,
he has a bunch of followers.
Say
they missing out on
women that miss out on so many opportunities because of social media, and the smoke and mirrors of social media, right? And the expectations of what they think things should look like and what they think things should be. So you meet this guy, he's a great guy, right? You might have seen him on, like, maybe you see him at a coffee store or whatever what the situation is. You don't know what he's driving. You don't know what his living situation is. You don't know nothing. He doesn't meet him. He says, hi, you guys exchange Instagram, and boom, now you exchange Instagram, you're looking at it. Now she goes and she starts scrolling through your page, right? She doesn't care about the conversation you're having before, right? Now she started looking at your page, and say 120 something followers. It's like
that's not enough.
That's the guy. Like,
so they want people to have lots of followers.
What is this? What is this? What does this guy have? Like, I can't see nothing. He doesn't show nothing. What is this guy about? Right? So I think she's gonna move on to the next thing that looks bright and flashy, like things that's happening. Oh my God, things are happening. Oh, this guy looks over here. Right? And mind you, this. Hold on. And mind you, this.
Yeah, they're racing or something.
Oh,
yeah, they're racing back there.
Big bike things. All right, wait till the bike them gone. And mind you, right? This guy could have his shit together in 100 ways more than one. Like, I know lots of guys that with 100. I know lots of guys with 100 followers. They have their big house and you know what I'm saying, and cars and I'm saying, but you wouldn't know. You would know unless.
But that shows what kind of girl that is and what she's looking for. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking for myself personally, and this is how I even was back in my day. I don't want the flashy guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm even thinking back in high school. To me, what was most attractive, and that's one other thing I taught my son, is girls are attracted to, or I was attracted to back then, the mysterious guy. You know what I'm saying? The guy that didn't do the most. The guy that was sitting back in the car. You know what I'm saying? Quiet, observing. You know what I'm saying? Those to me was the attractive guy. So if a girl's going on Instagram and she wants to see a guy, all his page, all these things going on, that shows what kind of girl you are and what kind of guy you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm talking about as a millennial and the difference, right? Like, that's crazy that everybody wants to see more, and they may turn down a guy because they don't have a lot of followers, or they don't have a lot going on in their page. Because to me, that would be more attractive. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying for me.
I don't think so. You know what? I think like you got to look at real life perspective and talk. I don't think that's a real statement. I think I feel like a statement, because
for me it is.
But think about the people that even you follow. Think about the people that you follow now. You yourself follow.
Yeah, I don't follow any Avery guys. Who do I follow?
I'm saying, think about the people that you follow right now. Even if you follow a guy right now, are you gonna follow a guy? Are you personally gonna follow a guy that is not in the entertainment field, or is not doing anything that's
follow? What do you mean?
Like follow, like when women follow guys, right? When women follow guys, it's mainly like entertainers, or they follow women that's entertainers, right? That's who they follow. They don't follow regular people that's, oh, I just came across this day. This guy is working over here. Oh, he did such a great job. No, hold on. Let me state my point for a second. You're automatically gonna look at what is flashy, what you think is most interesting, what's going to occupy the state of your brain at that point, and what's going to keep you most entertained. That's what that is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you as a person. You as a person that looks through Instagram, all you look at and only people that you follow. And I'm talking about even as you as a person, you're gonna follow people that are entertaining or people that you see that's gonna entertain you at that point.
I'm talking about from a perspective. If I was single, not now. But that's what I'm. Hold on.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm talking about the perspective as if I was single and the kind of traits I would be looking into somebody that I'm attracted to. You know what I'm saying? Entertainment, that's different. Rappers, people have social media. Yeah, they want lots of followers, but so they're going to be posting things to keep their engagement. You know what I'm saying? That's different. I'm talking about if I was single and I was going to go follow a random person, you know what I'm saying? I would not be looking for him to be flashy. No, I would not.
Listen, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about an entertainer.
Listen, there is no way for you to just stumble upon, even if you're single, right? This is the point I'm making. If you're single, there's no way for you to just stumble upon anybody that's not fully active in that social media space. It's impossible. Well, it's not going to happen.
I was thinking from the perspective, if I meet somebody and he gives me his Instagram and I'm like, okay, let me go follow him. And if his page was all flashy and he was doing the most, I would not be attracted to that. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm talking about. That would not deter me if he only had a couple of pictures and he wasn't that active on Instagram. Again, I'm talking as a millennial if I was dating right now. That's what I'm talking about. Do you understand?
Okay,
that's the perspective I'm coming from.
I'll tell you this way. I'll tell you this. And the craziest thing about that is what you just said, babe. For even a millennial to date something, and you know what? And it depends on what. I shouldn't even say it depends on, because you know what? Nowadays, everybody thinks that everything is for them, like everything, the impossible is for them, like the things that people preach about. That's what you deserve. Everybody feels entitled. That's the word I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. People feel entitled to what they think they should have because.
So what was crazy? You said that's crazy. What was crazy about what I said? You're saying that's crazy that you say that
because it's not really reality.
What I'm saying?
It's not really reality.
What's not reality?
It's not real because for you to
what's not reality?
No. Okay, for you to meet a person in the first place. Okay, I'll break it down step by step. For you to meet a person in the first place, that person would have to be attractive in some way or some form, mm-hmm. right? He wouldn't be an ugly person. He wouldn't be like a doji person. You understand mm-hmm. what I'm saying? So that throws everything out of it. And anybody that's like that, if you have any kind of attraction to you and you look like you're handsome or whatever, you're gonna have more followers. It's not like you're gonna have more followers than the average person.
This is how old school I am.
But you're listen.
I don't know nothing. Okay.
But no, I'm just saying. I'm just making common sense. I'm just talking common sense.
That's not true. Because it's not true.
What's
Listen,
not true?
I'm not a slouchy person. I'm not an unattractive person. But I'm not Instagram selling or looking for nothing.
Did you hear what I said though? Did you hear what I said though? Did you hear what I said though?
What?
I'm not saying for the seller. I'm not saying that person's gonna be selling or looking for anything. I'm just saying.
But you're saying if they're attractive, they're gonna have lots of followers.
I'm not saying. I didn't say lots of followers. They're gonna have other people that do think they're attracted to.
Okay.
They're not like women are not blind. They're not gonna be like, oh, this guy's no. This guy. Let me not look at this guy. This guy is social media page. Oh, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be women that say, look at him.
Okay.
Right? That's just the fact of it. Right? Okay. But because that's what I'm saying, you have to wait, right? If there was a guy that was trying to talk to you and he didn't look as good, but you're like, oh, you weren't really like.
But now you're changing the goalposts.
No. Listen to what I'm saying, because it all depends. Like,
it
all depends. I'm talking about somebody giving your social media.
Yeah.
If you like the guy,
yeah.
If you like the guy, it's completely different than the guy liking you.
Okay, well, I'm not taking his Instagram or nothing if I don't think they're attractive. Like,
no, I'm not. When I say you're, like, I'm sure you like just like you said, right? The guy that you took out and you took the
when I was like,
yeah. You just said I'm just saying that you said he was he was right? Mm-hmm. Because that happens. Like you meet people like he's you understand my
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah.
So those guys might get slide in there and you know what I mean? Get a little Instagram there. But at the end of the day, when you start going and start looking at it like
block.
Yeah, block things like something like
Block.
You see what I'm saying?
Actually, I'm not even gonna follow.
I'm not gonna follow nigga. You understand?
Oh, that's another thing. Being ghosted. Do people do Gen Z people actually break up with each other, or they just ghost each other?
People ghost some more.
No, that's crazy.
It's because people are afraid to actually like say what's on their mind now, and they're also afraid to like confrontation. So they have to like, oh yeah, let me just not say anything. Let me not get any type of resistance, because I guess it comes from the fact that I guess it's a cycle, because men get rejected so much that they get frustrated at rejection now. So when they get frustrated and express that, then the woman's afraid to give the rejection, and then they just ghost instead because they find it's easier than the confrontation of a man's hostile reaction. That's why.
I think real estate in a social media state, I think because it is a social media state and you met in a social media state, I think that's the main reason for that, is because you're in a space where it's not it's not a personally interactive state. You know what I'm saying?
Babe, you know you invented ghosting?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
I might have.
What happened?
You're right about it's not just like it's a social media space, but I've been ghosted in person. I never went to social media through person.
Yeah.
Like I met in person. I talked to her on the phone all the time. We talked for hours on the phone. But then, one day is like, let's go out one day, and then she never showed up.
Wow.
So never talked to me
Again? Stop it.
Yeah, just like out of nowhere, it's just like, okay, let's
set a date.
Yeah, let's set a date, and you say you're excited about date. Usually that works, but she never hit me up after that, and I never talked to her since. But
no, that's a ghost.
Yeah,
wow.
That's a ghost. But you never. There was no warning or anything.
Yeah.
But it was just out of nowhere. But like, but there were signs.
Like,
there were signs. Like the first sign was, I was at work.
Yeah.
And then she went to the same place, and then I told her where I was the night before, and then she said, "Oh yeah," and I called her up.
Right.
And then she told me where she was. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're here." And then she's like, "Oh yeah, I was good." I'm like, "You weren't gonna say that you're gonna check me when you're right here." I was like, "Oh yeah, I was gonna see you." But she was right in the corner, ready to leave. So that was a sign that she didn't really care too much. But I was really like
yeah,
pushing it,
whatever.
You just seeing where you could go. Still seeing where you could go.
See where you're gonna go. I was gonna
chase. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the energy she was giving. So in that sense, it's like, okay, she probably doesn't care that much about the situation, right? It's about like a thing, or maybe there was another guy that she was talking to.
Most likely.
Probably. Sound like she had a man.
Sound like she had a man the whole time.
She had a man.
Sound like she had a man. I was about to say that.
Yeah,
sound like she had a man.
She was using you whenever she was bored.
Yeah, it felt like she was doing like some kind of like
playing
comfort.
Exactly. Emotional
support.
Soothing.
Emotional. So you're there for emotional support. Exactly. It feels good talking to you, but then to go out and step out
and go out for dinner, yeah, it's getting too serious now. Let's reel that back in.
Nah, man.
Trust me.
And what were you saying?
What I said was, I'm thinking back to ghosting. I think you invented ghosting. You were the king, is the king. That is just, that's you will ghost somebody in a hot second.
That's true. That's
but that's your toxic trait.
That's true.
When I talk about buzzwords,
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Trend words, whatever.
That's true.
Buzzwords. That is definitely your toxic trait.
That's true.
Ghosting.
Because I'm not into like the arguing thing and the back and forth of like. And most of the times when I do ghost, you know exactly the reason why I ghost. You know what I'm saying? There's always a reference point.
No, you ghosted me for no reason.
No, it was.
Yes, no.
No, it wasn't.
No, you did. You did.
It's always.
It was for no reason.
There's always a reason.
There was a reason, but it had nothing to do with me. Let's put it that way. There was a reason, but the reason had nothing to do with me. Anyways,
no.
On to the next.
No,
but yeah,
no, because remember there was
the first time.
The first
time. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. But whatever. Like you do a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
But you want to know what he initiated? Listen, back then I was hot. No one couldn't tell me nothing. All right,
you're still hot, boy. You're still hot.
I'm just saying. You want ghost me? All right, fine, ghost me. I did. Listen. I remember when you messaged me back again. I was in the States. I was like, I'm going across the border. Yeah. You did. You're like, oh, this ghosting thing's not working. Let me call her. She's a little silent there. You remember?
No, didn't you? I didn't remember you going to the States. I can't remember.
I don't think I told you where it was, but I remember.
She didn't tell me where it was. See, now we found out where she was.
But no.
Now we found out where she was.
Because it was none of your business.
Because I remember what that States trip was. I'm like, hold on.
Back then, it was none of your business.
Hold on. That States trip sound familiar there.
But no, back then it was none of your business. Huh? No, me and Tika went over to Detroit.
I remember.
That's a different trip. Huh? That was what do you mean you remember? You remember when I went?
No, I remember the conversation about going there. We had a conversation about going.
What was it?
No, but we didn't have the conversation until I think it was. You know what it is? It's a conversation that was had that.
We never stayed. We never stayed over there.
I didn't say you stayed. I said the conversation that was had that I don't think because you never told me then.
But there was no reason for me to tell you.
You never told me the reason then that you went to the States.
What the reason? Or that I went?
No, you didn't tell me then that you went to the States. What is that? You told me when I asked you something else about something totally different situation.
When?
About that trip to Detroit where you and anyone.
We made more than one trip, so I'm not sure if you're thinking about the same trip.
What the trip that we're talking about is the trip that we're talking about. That me and you had a conversation.
Oh. Anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because you just say what you're saying. I don't know. What did you ask me about the trip?
I don't think I didn't ask you about the trip. It's something that you told me about the trip. You want me to tell?
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I think that was on a different trip. That's not that I wasn't talking to you then. That's when I was talking to Raheem's sperm donor. That's the trip.
Is that the trip when you left and you seen another guy over there?
Yeah, that's the trip. That's what I'm saying. There was two trips. When I went with Tanika that first trip, that's when I was talking Raheem's sperm donor. I didn't know you then. That was that trip. Me and Tika went over to Detroit, we'd even stayed there. I think we just went for to the club and we drove back to London. That's when Tika was living in London.
But you went to Detroit.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but you guys went to Detroit for a purpose. You went to meet up with somebody. It's not like you guys went there just to go there. You went there to meet up with somebody to live there. Exactly. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, that you went there for that purpose. Yeah. Is that the same? Is that two situations you're talking about right now? Or the one? Because
anyway,
because you told me that, and you met up with his friend over there.
Yes, but that's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's when I was with Raheem's dad, Raheem's sperm donor.
So those are two different situations.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
That situation.
I know, but that's why I asked you. That's why I wanted you to specify. I know you were getting it mixed up.
I didn't. I don't know.
I know you were getting it mixed up. Well, that was a different time we went over there. But anyways. Yeah, he tried to ghost me. He tried to use his old tactics on me. He didn't know.
I did not.
Back then, I was like, "Listen, you don't know me." That used to be my thing. Guys used to try to act up. Does he know who I am? Do you know?
So you go. Is he talking a whole bunch of nonsense right now?
Okay, I'm talking about back then.
Nonsense, right? Because I guarantee you, I call her. I tell you, I call her, and she answered the phone on the first ring. It's not like I called you and it's like it rang out. I call her like as soon as the phone went, she answered the phone.
You had me up a ways, but I still played hard to get. I still played hard to get.
That's what it sounds like to her.
Had me up a ways. You had me up a ways.
That's what it sounds like.
But he still tried to ghost me and still hit me up. I remember you tried to hit me up on some because he thinks he's so smart. Right? He was using these big words.
I think I'm so smart.
Using these big.
I think you hear that? I think I'm so smart. That's
big words.
The snippers out right now.
Using these big words.
What words did I use? You remember what big word I used?
Oh my God! You were writing out of you had Chat GPT.
Chat GPT. I still know that. I still know all the big words.
Why do you think we're joking around?
I know. I know. But I'm saying I still know all the big words.
Anyways, try to ghost me didn't work because look where we are right now. Look where we are.
Yeah. Right.
And that's all I have to say. Look where we are right now.
And that's why sometimes I can't stand her because she's doing stuff like
this. Sometimes I can't stand you podcast. Oh my goodness! Sometimes I can't stand you podcast.
So do you think that it's so you obviously answer that question. I think
what
the stage of dating. How much more difficult do you think it is? Because these kids grew up in a different time.
I feel like you would think it's normal for the kids now, but even I feel like the Gen X, Gen Z, whatever they are,
Gen Z?
that were born in
Gen X. Let's be Gen X.
I feel like even they have a hard time dating now. They're like they complain to me all the time. My niece, auntie, it's so bad out here. Auntie, it's so bad out here. These guys ain't shit. It's so bad out here. And I feel why they have it hard is because they're mixed in with these Instagram girls. Everybody wants to be an Instagram baddie. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wants to look a certain way, and only a certain kind of girl is attractive. You know what I'm saying? And it's just hot mess.
I feel like these girls are also going after a certain specific kind of guy too as well. I think they have to take some kind of responsibilities on onus on themselves.
There's only one kind of guy right now. Instagram, that's what I'm saying. Instagram has influenced the masses, the whole of them, babe. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like it is the age of social media. So it's not like there's probably the guys that are more humble and not influenced a lot by social media are few and far between. Do you understand? And that's why it's so hard for the normal people. You understand?
But I still don't think. But the problem lies.
And I think the rules they have. Sorry, babe. I think the rules and the standards are all messed up. All messed up.
I think not just the girls that are complaining. I think they're complaining based off the choices that they're making, based off what they're seeing, and based off what they were told they're supposed to like. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not a situation where it's an idea that they've formulated in their own head, like this is the kind of guy I want.
Yeah.
Social media is telling you what kind of guys you should have and what kind of guys you should be looking for.
But you know what? Back in our days, I'm trying to think, because I had a type too, and back in my days, it wasn't social media that formed that. It was like TV, or you know what I'm saying. So I think there's always going to be that, but it's just everything is just worse now.
But it's on. That's like you said. It's on. Remember, it's on a grander scale.
Yeah.
And the difference is now people are participating. Imagine if you had TV and you could see everybody that was participating,
interacting
on TV.
Oh, that guy's cute. Let me click now. Now you can click on their profile.
You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like watching So You Think You Could Dance, or when they have all those judges, they have the poll to see who's better, like which who's more liked.
So you're saying you can see their live stats.
Yes, you can see the live stats. So it's like Instagram and social media is like that. You're seeing people's live stats and how people are interacting to other people and going, this person left heart faces on their page. Oh, this girl must like him.
All of that to compete with.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so there's so much to compete with.
And even causes also even like with trust issues. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's more attainable. It's just a quick DM. You know what I'm saying? And you can get a hold of a next man's woman or a next woman's man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just adds a whole nother dynamic to dating, and I'm not into it. Thank God. Yep. Thank God. Aren't you happy, babe?
Right.
You're such an ass. My God.
Yeah, that's how I mess with her. But no, but you're right. Like it is. I feel like it is a difficult. It's a difficult stage for
the singles.
Not only for I think for everybody.
That's what I'm saying, for people that are single.
I think not, yeah.
How is it different? How is it difficult for me right now.
No, but not every. I'm saying not only because I'm sure there's women out there that have relationship problems.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of
Social
things that's
media.
going on social media.
Yeah.
And how they're looking at things are screwed because how they're looking at social media and what they think things should be and what they think things should look like.
I don't really post
yeah.
my relationship
Yeah.
on social media.
Like it's crazy.
Because
Yeah.
people are too fast.
That they fuck.
People want to know too much.
But that's the thing. And people.
Listen, and I'm part of the fast ones. Let me tell you what I did the other day.
Right.
Okay, and it's so easy to find this information. So there's this okay, it was twice. I'll show you how social media gets people in your business and why I don't post my business on social media like that. Okay, there's this random girl. I don't know how I keep up on her page. She's more of a gym influencer. Like she works out and stuff like that, right? And she used to post her and her husband all the time. They have a little daughter, but the daughter's probably 4 or 5, 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? They used to be like doing meal plans together, working out together. I see her not posting the husband no more. So I'm like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? What happened there? You know, she doesn't post them no more, but I'm like, okay, maybe, who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm sick.
No more. So it became more like, you know what I'm saying? Apparent. So then I saw all the pictures of him and her are gone. See this? Break up. So that was a random person, okay? Then I was watching the news the other day. And there's this newscaster on City TV. I won't say whatever. This newscaster on City TV.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm like, hold on, she's not wearing her ring.
You see all that?
I'm watching the news.
You see all that?
She's not wearing her ring.
Hold on 1 second.
She's not wearing her ring.
Put on my spectacles.
This is where social media comes into play. Okay?
Yeah.
What do? I go on Instagram. I'm doing my Instagram investigation. She has a post on there because I know she had recently got married like a year ago. Not wearing a ring, go on Instagram, scroll to 2 times. She's not together anymore. She wrote a whole page about starting over, things not working out. I said, I knew it. And social media will have people all up in your business.
So how do you feel about that? How when because that's what people do nowadays. Social media, they put their relationship public on social media and for the world to see. And what we're doing right now is public.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
If we break up, podcast done.
No, sir. Find somebody come sit on the register.
No, podcast done. Find next podcast to do somewhere else. Okay.
Somewhere. That's easy, right, Ro?
Listen, people. Who are you loyal to?
Should I take all the subscribers everybody with it?
Yeah. On that note, I personally think, thank God, again, I'm going to say, I would not want to be in this cesspool of dating now. It's not for me. Not for me. I'm good. I think if, God forbid, anything was to happen between me and you, I'd just be single.
Or turn lesbian.
Maybe. Very possible.
Very, 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 very possible. You know who I'm watching already. You know who I am on already.
What? Yeah. Why are you getting to burn a hole through my skin?
Well, so
on that note, cheers to. For me, what are we cheering? I'm gonna make you go first.
We're choosing to social media not having a hold on your life.
Yeah. Cheers to that, and cheers to not being single.
Cheers. Hold on there.
Cheers.
What you put it back?
Cheers to not being single.
Cheers to not being single.
Okay.
I'm mingle.
Listen.
Until we find Yeah. And next. Yeah. Who else gonna sit down next to me?
Are you Muslim?
Girlfriend.
Are you converting?
I'm sort of Muslim.
You're sort of Muslim. Do not disrespect.
Anyways, guys, appreciate you guys listening, watching us. Right?
Yeah.
You gonna say anything to?
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Yeah, appreciate you guys. That's until next week.
You love Chet. See him love himself.
I love myself. I said, I love it. Gotta love me. Somebody gotta love me. Somebody gotta love me, right?
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes, because sometimes I can't stand you.
Somebody can't stand me. I gotta go cheers to that.